Hey guys, so now you have the PDF version of an acquisition checklist. I'm going to show you how we actually use it in Asana. So you could create this in Trello, Asana, Monday, keep it in your PDF, however you want to do it. But this is what we do when we get a new property under contract and how we keep it organized. It gets confusing with multiple closings, multiple properties, just making sure you're doing all of the things before closing. So we have a general acquisition checklist. What we're going to do, we use Asana, so it's a project management software, has a whole bunch of different features. You can go duplicate. So we're going to do 123 Main Street, have an acquisition checklist. All of the information is going to be copied. So we're going to just add that. Some of these things we don't use, but for the sake of this, we're going to do all of it. Create a copy. Starting use. So while it's being created. So right now it's just uploading. We'll give it a couple of seconds. All right, now it's fully uploaded. So this is the same checklist that you guys already received yesterday. It's a PDF document. Now, again, this is how we do it on Asana. So first step, run analysis. I can see here, I have the link that has my Google spreadsheet, so you can run the analysis. Next step we're going to be doing, this is pre-offer, is checking the GIS map or maybe also emailing or calling the city to confirm zoning. So this is a link to the GIS map. So I can check the zoning in Chatham-Kent if it is going to make sense for the property that we're buying. So if it's a single family, zone single family. If it's a fourplex, is it zone single family? That's not going to be helpful for us. So you just want to confirm that information before you put the offer in. Then you're going to write up the purchase and sale agreement. So we do this in DocHub. So I write up the offer and then I send it direct to the seller and to the buyer. And right in DocHub, they can sign e-sign if that's what they're okay with. You may need to renegotiate. They may want to come back and say, I don't like these conditions. I want a higher price, whatever it is. Then you can re-sign the offer based on the new negotiation. Once it's signed, this is where things get complicated and can get forgotten, essentially. Not necessarily complicated, but when you have multiple closings, it can get to be very busy and you can't remember necessarily where you are at what step. So this is a good way just to ensure that it's complete. And you can assign the tasks to people, all this. So setting up a Google Drive. Every time we buy a new property, we have a Google Drive folder that says rental properties, and then we set up a new folder in our Google Drive. 123 Main Street. In that folder, we're going to have a couple folders. Taxes for that tax year, important documents, and then pictures. So all of those things will be in folders, and then within that, we have more folders. That's how we kind of stay organized. So important documents would be the MLS listing, the APS, any other information that you have, you already have. You're going to send the deposit to whoever it's going to, your lawyer in trust, their lawyer in trust, the brokerage, whatever. Then you're going to send the agreement of purchase and sales to your lawyers. Your lawyers may have more questions, information that you need to provide. Do that. You may have a condition on the property based on a home inspection, whether that's you doing it yourself or if you're hiring a home inspector, you want to set that up, get it organized. You can check it off when it's done. So I'll show you actually. Once your things are complete, you can just go through and check it off. You can also assign due dates. So if you're like, the home inspection needs to be done, I have 7 days from today to get it done, I'm going to put a due date. I'm going to say it's Jeremy's responsibility to have the home inspection done. And then we can maybe leave that, keep going. Okay, the appraisal, maybe we have a condition on appraisal, also has 7 days. Put that in there. Taylor's doing the appraisal. Confirm financing. That could be whoever's task, same thing. Do you have a financing inspection or a financing condition? Put the date in there so you have an idea of when those things are due and when you need to waive your conditions by. Keep going. So say these are all complete, you're good, you don't need to renegotiate, you can waive your conditions. You're good to go. Confirming closing. Like you're firm on the deal. You definitely need insurance. So talk to your insurance broker, get that set up, get your letter or your binder, your proof of insurance. You're going to send your insurance to your lawyers, set up property taxes. So maybe calling your municipality and just setting up in your name. For us, hydro water is Integris, gas is Enbridge. It's going to be different based on where you're living, but you want to set those things up before closing also. Sometimes you can do it online if you set it before closing. If you do after closing, you definitely will need to call and get it set up. And then we normally just set up automatic payments, so it's just directly withdraw from our account. That's another thing. You might want to be setting up a bank account for a new property if that's how you're organizing it. Make plans for the property. So is it going to be renovated? Do you need to set up certain things? So setting up things will be next, but making plans would just be like setting up contractors, ordering appliances, depending on what you're doing with the property. Often we're doing renovations. That's what I mean there. And then property management. The property manager now sets up lawn care for us. Previously, we were setting up lawn care ourselves. You may be doing snow removal. If you don't have property management, property manager, you need to be setting up like snow removal, grass cutting, setting a welcome letter to the new tenants for when the day of closing is, how they contact you. Things like that might be a little different based on how you're managing your properties and your tenants. Setting up signing with the lawyers, so setting up a date and time ahead of time is helpful so they're not too busy. If you're trying to set it up last minute, bring the money for closing, so your lawyer will tell you need to bring your binder, proof of insurance, and then they should have a fund summary of how much money you need to bring to closing, and then closing day. That's how we organize our acquisition checklist. So if we have multiple properties, we can go back and say 123 Main Street has this far, this is what we've done. 256 Front Street has a different set of things, okay? Hopefully that is helpful. I definitely recommend using something like Asana or Monday, Trello, whatever it is. Get your lists in place and make your system set up now. It'll make your life way easier when you have a lot of properties. Trust me. Take care.